Alrighty, so we've got a signed quote here. We've got our deposit against the quote itself. So now you'll notice that this quote has a banner up top here that says ready to convert to a sales order when you are. So the next next button would be this make sales order button right up top here, and it's going to turn this quote into a sales order. Sandbox just takes a little bit longer time to transfer some of these records over, but okay, now we have a sales order. So how do we know that it's a sales order? Well, there is up on the header here, sales order number. So you get an SO. So you'll hear us refer to sales orders as SOs, and you'll also hear us refer to the lines on sales orders, SOL, so sales order line. So in this video here, I'm just going to give you a good little overview of what's in a sales order, where you can kind of navigate through here, and just give you a really good overview of all the details on the sales order. So again, sales order lines, it looks exactly like a quote, but the lines itself, there's a bit more information on the sales order lines now. Within the sales order, these tabs are about the same. You'll find that most of the tabs on most of the records are about the same. So the first one we're going to click on is the details. So that brings us again up to the details of the same details as the quote and the details of the sales order itself. So all the information that you put on the opportunity, which made its way to the quote, now it's made its way to the sales order. So order info, pricing and terms, this is going to be the same on all those pages. We have our address here. We have the project type, supply and install, billing address, and then we have our shipping address. You see it came over from the opportunity and the quote, it's different. Down at the bottom, some information you can kind of see. You can see when records are last modified. You can see who they're created by and when they were created. Down at the bottom here, there's a count. So you can actually see if there's any purchase orders on this sales order. You can see if there's any work orders on this sales order. You can see if there's any billings on this sales order, any completed work orders. So again, you can scroll down here quickly and see if there's anything related. Next tab, of course, is the materials and labor. That's the one that it automatically will land on every time that you go to a sales order or create a new sales order. Purchasing. So this is a super important tab that we're going to be going over in probably one of the next videos. Purchasing, this is where you can create purchase orders from and or see if there are any purchase orders already created on your sales order. So these are all SOL, so sales order lines, that I can change or convert into a purchase order, and then I can send that purchase order to a vendor to order the product. Transfer orders, you can see if there's any transfer orders. So our system's set up to automatically request transfer orders. And what transfer orders are is a place in our system where it'll read if you're requiring materials, and it'll request a transfer of those materials from another location. So super handy. They work for stock products. So say if you sold a thin set, you sold 40 bags, and we only had 20 bags in stock in Seashell, and Powell River had 40 bags in stock, it's going to ask Powell River to transfer those 20 bags down here. Or you have the opportunity to order those 20 bags on your purchasing lines as well. So transfer orders, super cool, huge time saver in our system. Activity, very important tab. This is where you can see any activity, either email or tasks that have happened within that SO. So this is where you're going to be able to see if you had sent an email to someone and or had a communication with someone on your sales order. So if you want to make sure that an email went through that you sent from the system, it shows up underneath the activity tab. Chatter, very important as well, our internal communications. So very important that you chatter people, or you chatter if you're looking at someone else's sales order, or if you're on your sales order and you want to have a conversation with someone about that sales order or that job, make sure that you do it on the chatter right on the job, because then it's quick, easy access for another person to be able to get to that sales order to look at the information that you have on there. And then last but not least is the related tab. So this is where anything related to that record is held. So of course, cash receipts, that's a payment. Measure sheets, opportunities, quotes, sales order lines, pack sales order lines, and billings. Anything that can be related to your job or your SO is underneath related. Now, we also have related up top here, so you can get to it in two different places. You can get to all of these related boxes right here. You can get to them up top here also. So nice, quick, easy way. Little trick is you can just scroll over top and it opens them up, and then you can actually still, while it's scrolled over top, go and click on it. So let's just see, here's one that's got a bunch of records on it. So you can scroll over top, and then you can go click on the item itself, or the sales order line itself, bring you to that item. And then of course, we have our global search up top there. That'll remove you from this page when you search for something up there. But the next would be all of these buttons right here. So again, JunoDoc, that's our PDF generation software that we use that's integrated in with our Salesforce and Forforce. Now you hear us talk about Foxit, that's going to be replacing this, so keep in mind, you could be using JunoDoc right now, but you very well could be using Foxit in the future, or maybe another one depending on technology and where we move as a company. Then of course you can delete sales orders. You can only delete sales orders that don't have anything done to it. As soon as you create a purchase order, or as soon as you pack one of these lines, or as soon as you bill it, or as soon as you create a work order from it, this delete button will disappear. So yeah, delete only if nothing's done to your sales order, but if there's anything done to your sales order, you cannot delete a sales order. Take a payment, generic item, so you can create items on your sales order. Maybe you got to add new items or labor items. You can do it right there with a generic item. Staging, that's a process in our warehouse. That's where we actually stage. So we go and collect all the materials for that job, and we stage it, we wrap it, we put it in a separate storage area. Pack SO, so that's when we go and pack. We physically remove the inventory, which then we go in and pack it, and we electronically remove the inventory from our system. Generate billing, we'll go over that in a future video. Create RMA, we'll go over that in a future video. And then of course, there's a whole slew of other things you can do on your sales order action buttons right here. So we'll go through all these that we use in our system in future videos. So that's an overview of the sales order.